course, but I wanted to go over a couple of your homework problems so that you understand how to do them. So this is one of your first real homework beyond just simply learning the alphabet. You're actually going to start to translate single words. And the way I and so these are some of the but not all the exercises that you find in your workbook. And one of the first things that you learn is how to parse nouns. I'm going to write here, parse. What does it mean to parse the noun? It's to identify the different components of the noun. Its case, number, and gender. So you're going to be learning a bunch of vocabulary. So you have to, so go ahead and make your flashcards, memorize the vocabulary. And then after you memorize the vocabulary, memorize the grammar, you're going to start in your workbook. And when you do start in your workbook, one of the first exercises you're going to get is they're going to give you words and they're going to ask you to parse it and translate it. Give a simple translation. So here we have the word anthropon. And the first thing I do is look at that ending there, that on. There's an on there. On. So I know that on means that it's singular. And anthropos happens to be a masculine noun. So therefore, the only ending in a masculine noun that has on at the end is the accusative. So its case is accusative, its number is singular, and it's a masculine noun. Now the lexical form, or the form that you find in the dictionary, nouns always have the nominative singular form, whether it's masculine, neuter, or feminine. It's the nominative singular form that's listed. And then what they expect you to do is that if they list the nominative singular form, they think that you're automatically going to know the rest of the forms of the noun because you've memorized your grammar and you know what the case endings are. So when it asks for the lexical form, I'm going to write an, smooth breathing mark, and anthropos. That's the nominative masculine form, anthropos. And I'm also going to put this definite article ha, because that's part of the lexical form. I have to be able to identify the article. And what does the article tell me? Well, the article tells me that I know whether it's masculine, neuter, or feminine. If I were to write, say, phone, hey, this definite article says, hey, that's a feminine noun. And if I were to write ergon, ta, this article tells me that, hey, that's a neuter noun. And this ha here tells me that this is a masculine noun. So when you write the lexical form, you can't just write anthropos. You have to write anthropos, comma, plus the article. And what is the definition? I ran out of space here, but what's the definition? Well, the definition is a man. That's my definition. So this is just one parsing exercise. Why don't we try another? Okay, so let's try basileos, which is the word for kingdom. Well, I'm looking at this os here, and that tells me, oh, got it. This is an accusative, it's a plural, and this is a feminine noun. And its lexical form is basileia. Hey, this is kingdom, and then it's this article here tells me I know it's feminine. And what is its translation? Well, I'm going to translate the inflected form. I'm not going to translate the lexical form. This is plural. So I have to translate this as kingdoms, plural. If I translate this as kingdom singular, it's wrong because the form I'm asked to translate is a plural form. So you go ahead and work through the parsing exercises. And after you do the parsing exercises, you'll get your first translations. And the translations that you'll be asking to do are very simple. You haven't learned any verbs yet. So what happens is that until you learn verbs, Mounce is just going to give it to you. So this is given. Lege here means he, she, it says. And he's going to give you that as part of the exercise. Your job is to translate this other stuff. All right. And so it might help that you have a little bit more practice with the parsing. So what we have here is we have the apostle and we have the words and we have the verb he, she, it says. So the question is what's the subject of the sentence and what's the object? Is it the words say the apostle, or is it the apostle says the words? Now, I think common sense, you probably guess the sentence is the apostle says the words. But you're not trying to use common sense to translate Greek. Let me rephrase that. You can't depend on common sense alone. You don't want to turn off your common sense, but you can't work on common sense alone. You need to look at the grammar, and that tells you how to translate the sentence. So when I look at ha apostolos, I have a lot of clues here. One, that's a nominative ending. This is also a nominative direct object. Ha apostolos, everything about ha apostolos says that the apostle, which is what the word is being used as the subject of the sentence because it's using the nominative ending in the nominative definite article. Whereas with tous, lagus, all right, these are accusative endings. Lagus is using accusative ending. That tells me that they want to be the direct object of the sentence. So if I were to translate this, it would be the apostle says, because the verb is he, it, she, it says. He's not gonna, the verb's going to use a he, she, or it as a subject. Well, here's your he or she. I do think we have women apostles in the New Testament. So this is the apostle, and it takes this verb says, and then the direct object would be words. Let's spell that right, words. The apostle says the words. And if I were to parse each word in the sentence, I would find that this is the nominative singular masculine from apostolos, ha, and I could translate this as apostle. This article would also be nominative singular masculine. Notice that they match. Do you see that? They match. And what's the lexical form of the article? It's actually ha, hey, ta. That's how it's listed. So you want to write all three of the masculine, feminine, and neuter forms, and you translate this as the. Lagus would be accusative. This is an accusative ending. This is an us. Plural, masculine, from logos, ha, and I would translate this as words. So it's words because this is a plural form, and then tous is accusative plural masculine, and then again it's a definite article, so it's ha, hey, ta, and then I don't know how to say the in a plural way. You can't do it in English, so we just say the, and that completes one full exercise. So I would suggest right now, go over the grammar, make your vocabulary cards, make your grammar cards, memorize the endings, do the exercises. When you feel confident enough that you can start, that you know the material, start doing the homework, use the homework as practice, and then after you do the homework, check it against the answer key, which is provided in the course, and then gear up for the quiz that's coming up for this chapter.